Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Paul Brown Show. This evening, my guest will be Mr. George Horton, and on the phone we have Ms. DeWanda Dorsey, and they're going to give us some information about they have a veterans program. How you doing there, Mr. Dorsey? Yes,
Hi.
Ms. Dorsey.
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Great. And yourself, Mr. Horton?
I'm doing great.
Tell the audience a little bit about your organization.
America's Vets Helping Vets for Life. It's a dream of a friend of mine I grew up with, Mr. Anthony Davis. He's the president and the CEO of the organization, also the founder. I got involved in it because he saw that I had a passion working with veterans. I just went through the system on my own, navigated the VA system on my own.
Correct.
Because I had no one to tell me. So I reach out to people so I can help them, and that's what he does. We look out for the homeless veterans that are reintegrating back into civilian life, and so forth and so on.
DeWanda,
Yes.
tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what do you do in the organization?
Okay, I am prior Air Force. I didn't retire, but I do have a disability from when I was active duty, and met George via my mother, and found out how passionate he is about this organization, America's Vets Helping Vets for Life, and was told about the national chapter, and that he had started a chapter in Charlotte, and asked me to come on and help. So I willingly decided to help because I also have a passion for helping. I don't think that the veterans have enough support, enough resources, so we're trying to do what we can to help bridge the gap that we as veterans need.
So what do you, George, you feel like the veterans, what is the issue that you see mainly?
Joblessness and homelessness. They come back, they leave here with a job and come back without, to not having a job. And that's a major adjustment for them to make. And also the homelessness. Now, that's our pet peeve. We at American Vets Helping Vets for Life don't believe that homeless and veteran belong in the same dictionary.
Correct.
If we can go give our life for the country, why can't the country take care of us?
How about yourself, DeWanda?
What was the question that you want me to answer, Kim?
Yes, ma'am. What do you feel is the biggest issue that we see that's going on with our veterans?
The lack of support, and as George says, homelessness, it should never, ever happen. It should never happen. And when we sign our name away, we cannot say, I'm not coming into work today. I don't feel well. We have to go regardless. But when you come out and you don't have any kind of support, that's not good. It's not good. So and then you have veterans who have disabilities, and they don't know the process of how to apply for these disabilities. A lot of veterans are not told that there are disabilities that they can apply for. So they find that out oftentimes via word of mouth. So we're not getting the information from whom we should get it from. So that's another thing, that we are owed a lot of different resources, but we're not told of those resources.
Right.
We're okay while we're in. We're supported while we're in, but when we're out, we're just left alone.
Who does the blame do each one of you feel should be given to for the issues that we have?
Wow. DeWanda, you want to answer that one first?
That's the blame, I would say, I guess, overall, it would be maybe a disconnect between the government while you're active duty and when you become a civilian again. I think we kind of forget what's happening when you're no longer active duty. So you're left alone. You're left alone to fend for yourself. So I believe it's a disconnect. There needs to be some kind of connection there between personnel, and once you get out, and I want to say it should be veterans that kind of hold that, because the veterans would be on both sides.
Correct.
Or would have been on both sides at one time or another. A civilian won't be able to understand it, I don't think, as much as we as veterans who've been on both sides would understand.
How about
so I'd say it's a disconnect, yeah.
I believe, first of all, and they have started the program where they do, but I think they need more time. And instead of saying you come there 1 or 2 days out of the week and you just be there for a couple of hours, the military has instituted a program where they charge 90 days before they discharge. It's mandatory that they go to the type of training that helps them get back to civilian life. I've never been into one of the classes. I really would like to go sit in, because I don't believe that they're giving them the proper tools to work with anything when you come out. I'll be up to the VA hospital and do VA clinic a lot of times, and there's people that come out there that they don't even know anything about registering for the clinic, you know, and it's really a travesty how they keep things from the veteran. Like, and then some of it is the veterans' fault also, because by the fact that we went into military, they know that we know how to read.
Correct.
And they'll put it in some of the literature and everything that they have, but that literature is hard to come by. You know, the handbook that they had to come out every year. In fact, I haven't even seen the new handbook for this year, but for 2017, actually it was 2016 that the 2017 would have came out for. But you know, you don't get a chance to really read and find out what's going on. It's like they're trying to hide it from you. And then when we go up there and talk with some of the people at the VA, especially when you're dealing with doing a claim, for some reason or other, they forget the fact that if it wasn't for a veteran, they probably wouldn't have a job.
Correct.
They work for the VA, and without a veteran, there would be no VA.
Absolutely.
You know, that just like you said, there's a lot of things that the information isn't really being provided. There should be more job opportunity for the veterans that, you know, when they come out and after they've been out, there should have been some type, because I'm a veteran as well, when we signed up to protect and serve this country that we have, we should be giving back some of the things that we deserve.
Yeah, and I agree.
So how long has your organization been going on? And I know you got a lot of things like information that you're going, workshops. Tell the audience about that.
Okay, we started about 2.5, close to 3 years ago. The regional office up in D.C., it's in Washington, D.C. area. Okay. It started up there about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. June 24th, I decided that it's time for us to expand.
Correct.
And with the good graces of the President, Anthony Davis, and everyone up there, I got a chapter started down here. Okay. I immediately tabbed DeWanda to be the commandress. Okay. Because I've been working with her, and she was helping out a whole lot. Anything that was going on, she was always there. Mm-hmm. So I decided I would like her to be the commandress. And she's very organized. And that's a wonderful thing, because I'm not. But some of the things that we're doing, and because you spoke about the jobs and everything.
Correct.
In fact, it's tomorrow, October 25th, from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at 131 East McCullough Drive. It's the Country Inns and Suites, and that's right off of Tryon Street. We're having a career fair. We have some people like the VA up Salisbury, the VAMC up there, Salisbury will be there. I got Mecklenburg County Government, CATS Transportation. Who else? The Post Office. Okay. Among them, Walgreens, and then we also having they come up under small business called SCORE.
Yes, sir.
SBA comes up under there. They're going to come out and give a workshop.
All right.
You know, so people know how to do applications and interview. And we also have another person that's coming out to show them how to start up their own business.
Why should veterans really go out there and try to really look for that information? That because there's so much, sometimes there's so many things, information out there, but you have to go and look for it.
I think.
Go ahead.
I would say they should come out because there may be a lot of information, but as George stated earlier, it's hard to come by.
Correct.
And if it wasn't hard to come by, I don't think that they would have created this organization. So it's not that easy to get what's needed because you don't know. The communication is not where it should be. With us having to sign our lives to the military, when we come out, we should almost have carte blanche, I would think, because of what we've done. We shouldn't have to come out and suffer because we don't have a job, or you can't feed your family, or whatever it is. People have suffering with PTSD, whatever, MST, whatever they're suffering from. It shouldn't be that you're just left alone, and that's how it is.
George?
So I think with us having some kind of experience, we know where the veterans are coming from.
What advice would you give a veteran that's still in the military, about to get out? What advice would you provide for them right now?
I would tell them to first of all, weigh your options. Are you sure you're ready to come out right now? Because if you don't have a job lined up, there's no telling when you're going to get one. With the way the economy and the work situation is now, there's no telling. And what happens is when you come home, especially if you have a family, you come home, you come from Afghanistan or somewhere like that, you've gone through all these problems, and you come home to another problem. Now there's no money. So what happens, these people, they start getting frustrated, and all kinds of crazy things happen there. So if I was them, I would think about if being discharged right now is the best thing for myself and my family. Then after that, if you decide that that's what it is, give yourself time to learn how to do a resume. Then, unfortunately, they don't do it the way they did when I was in the workforce. The government, you did a 171 and all that good stuff.
Right.
Everything is done online now. So, learn how to navigate the computer so you know how to work it. Make sure you know how to do that resume properly, and write the resume for the job that you're looking for. And after that, really, it's just pray.
Correct. DeWanda, what advice would you give that
People who are still active duty, very similar to George, do your research. When you come out, what kind of job are you looking for? What is the outlook on that job? Do you need to have some kind of training? If you need to get training, get your training set up first. Know how to translate your military position to your civilian position before you get out. I think for me, while I was active duty, it's almost like I want to say false sense of security, although it wasn't false while I was active duty, but when you're so accustomed to that security, a lot of times you get out and then you think that you still have that and you don't. It's an awakening. It's a big awakening, so we have to prepare ourselves so that we don't fall onto homelessness, if possible, fall into not being able to work or not being able to take care of our families. We need to prepare.
And that's one of the biggest things, that preparation. And you should really plan in advance because it's not easy. A lot of people think it's just like you said, that military, Uncle Sam takes care of you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, from the housing to the financial, but once you get out, you really basically on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You know, you got to go out there, and if you don't go out there and get that job's not going to come to you.
And
Right.
you know, that's one of the things that we thought about with AVHVFL.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want any veteran to be alone. We need him to know that he does not have to try to navigate that system by himself. We already went through it, learned the hard way, and we learned a lot of things. And since then, we've learned how to use the literature that they have once we find it, you know, and we've learned how to find it online. So we want to go out there and help that veteran, you know. I wish there would be a way that we could have a program large enough. You know, we want to expand, but I wish we had a program large enough whereas we could be referred to by the military in the different areas that we'll be in. You need to hook up with this individual so he can help you get through and get you started back into the civilian way of living.
Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
I'm a native Washingtonian, come from Washington, D.C., born and raised in the streets of Southeast D.C.
Okay.
I went to the Air Force and then made my way to the Army. I don't know, I've suffered some things, and I went through drug addiction, I went through mental health problems and everything, and one day they put it all together and they connected them and they got me together, and eventually I moved down there to Charlotte.
Okay. How long were you in the military?
I did a total of 23 years, in which 2 years, 10 months, 23 days, 16 hours, 45 minutes, and 13 seconds was in the Air Force.
Okay. So what did you like most about the military?
Discipline, camaraderie. You know, like when I took that oath, I was adopted into a family full of veterans, and all those who came in behind me were adopted into my family. We were just one great big family.
You know, you were in a wartime situation, were you?
I didn't go to combat. I grew up during the Vietnam War.
Okay.
And I kind of stuck with that. And I wear this in honor of the infantry soldiers over in Vietnam. They were, to me, the most disrespected veteran in the history of the world.
Why you say that, sir?
The way they were spat upon, called baby killer. Nobody really understood the fact that the Viet Cong found out that American soldiers like kids.
Right. And
they loved women. So they booby-trapped the kids and the women. And the kids would just follow behind them. And they would try to get them to stop coming. Eventually, the only way they could save themselves in that platoon was to go there and kill them. That's why they killed those babies. It's not that they wanted to, but they had to survive.
When you hear stories like that, how does that make you feel?
To hear how he was disrespected, it really disturbs me. I have family members that were over there, good friends that were there.
Correct.
In a way, I wanted to go, but at the time I graduated high school, it was already over. My parents weren't gonna let me go in early like I wanted to.
You know, to a lot of people who've never seen the military, how would you describe, that a normal day?
Okay, first of all, basic training. I'll speak on that a lot because I did 12, maybe 13 years as a drill sergeant.
Okay.
In the Army. So I'll speak on basic training first. A lot of people don't realize that, and I told my grandson that basic training is nothing but a game with your mind.
Correct.
We're going to make you or break you. You come off the street raw, and we want you to go back home as a soldier. However, the sad but true fact is we do traumatize them, because anytime you do something that's mind altering to someone,
Correct.
It's traumatic, and that was my job, to traumatize. I kind of put that together after I found out I had PTSD, and I denied it for long until one day I accepted it. And then I started reading on it, studying, and I started saying, wait a minute, that's my job, to traumatize somebody. You know, now that part I feel bad about. However, after you get through basic training, it's nothing but a game, you know, not a game, but it's nothing but another job.
Correct. You know, when I was in the military, you know, I went to ROTC and all that, I really, you know, as far as being in basic training, it's like you said, it was, you see these drill sergeants, but you have to remember, their job is to teach you how to survive.
Yeah.
You know, and it may look like it's a mental thing, but then again, you have to be able to deal with these type of situations, and if you can't handle it, it's really going to be, you know, when you really out there. Yeah. And sometimes we take for granted when we join the military that you're going to possibly be in a combat situation, and you're going to have to deal with that thing that drill sergeant is teaching you.
Yeah. You said a mouthful.
You know, and that's real. That's real. Yeah. You know, and that plane and all that, because that drill sergeant is there to save your life.
That's right.
And that was your job. You had men, I know you had women too, but your job was to teach them how to survive in a wartime situation.
And it wasn't easy.
Well, I mean, it wasn't supposed to be easy, because saving lives it's not easy. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's kind of, sometimes it's hard, but then again, it's rewarding. Know that when these people come back after remembering what you taught them, and they made it through that wartime. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a good feeling. You should have a good feeling knowing that, you know, you taught that person how to come out through that combat.
You know, it's funny that you say that. I had a trainee down at Fort Benning one year, and he reminded me so much of myself, full of potential.
Correct.
I watched him break dance and pop and lock while doing inspection arms. You know, and I was like, wait a minute, how can he do that? And anyway, I told him one day that the reason why I stayed on him so hard was because I was not going to let him become another me.
Correct.
I saw him about 3 years later up at Walter Reed Medical Center.
Yes, sir.
I was up there taking a physical, and I saw him, and he recognized me.